This is the NordicTrack Fusion CST Studio, and in the next few minutes I'm going to give you a review of this full body strength and cardio machine. This machine has 6 cables, including a high cable, a medium cable, and also a low cable that can be extended out onto an additional pulley here to do squats. One of the most interesting things about the NordicTrack Fusion CST is this actually uses digital silent magnetic resistance similar to the S22i exercise bike NordicTrack makes. And I'll get a better shot of this in just a moment, but here's what the flywheel looks like on the back. And one of the benefits of that digital silent magnetic resistance is this machine is basically silent. There's no dropping of weights you're ever gonna hear or clanging or banging of iron while using this machine. Another thing that makes this machine nice is the resistance is super smooth, but there is kind of one downside to it that I'll get to in just a moment. Over on the right side of this machine, you can adjust the resistance by pushing these buttons up and down. But in addition to that, there is automatic adjusting resistance with the iFit classes that you load right up here on this screen. So when you're doing an iFit class, you can follow along on this tablet, and this whole machine comes with this stand that you can move around, and you can position the tablet basically wherever you want to get the best viewing angle for doing your workouts. Another cool thing about this stand is the whole thing can rotate like this, so you can get the perfect viewing angle basically no matter where you place it. But also another cool thing is this mirror is magnetic. So if you want to put the tablet on the mirror, all you do is take this attachment and carefully place it on the mirror, and then take your tablet and set it right here. And this entire thing can go up and down pretty much as far as you want. Here's an example with it really high up, and another example dropping it all the way down here. So I pulled up a quick little manual session here to kind of give you an idea of what you would be able to adjust and see here. Like I mentioned, the resistance is automatic adjusting, or also you can manually adjust it here by adjusting this slider here, similar to how the NordicTrack S22i works. You just slide that along and it adjusts the resistance. And while it is basically 100% silent, there is a small amount of noise. If I take the resistance and drop it from 20 down to 1, you can hear the noise. So the noise is basically inaudible. The Fusion CST also gives you your power output in watts right here, along with your calories burned, time elapsed, and your Fusion score, as well as your strength points, and also your cardio points. Additionally, you can hook up a heart rate monitor to this machine and track your heart rate progress as well. Over on the right side of the screen, you get your resistance number, which you can manually change here as well. And as you're using the machine, you can see your power output instantaneously right here on the side, as well as the same exact number is displayed right here on the tablet as you do your workout. And as a quick side note, I do find this machine to be a beautiful piece of equipment to add to my home here, and it's super convenient just for me to like walk up and just start getting a quick little easy workout in on this thing just regularly without even loading up the classes or anything. Just, you know, using these buttons on the side, just pop in, get a quick little pump, and go on with my day. So there are 20 levels of digital magnetic resistance on this thing, and according to the manufacturer's specs, the resistance ranges from 10 to 100 pounds, but there is a little bit of a trick to getting that 100 pounds or the higher end of the resistance that I'll show you here in just a moment. So I just bumped the resistance to 10, and if I take these middle pulleys, for example, here, and do like a chest press here, just like a little chest workout, tricep workout, front deltoid workout. It's a kind of difficult resistance, but the way these pulleys and cables work is as you get further away from it, they get harder to use. So if you want to increase the resistance to the most amount, you have to step away from the machine more to get that full resistance. And this is resistance 10 right now, and it's pretty heavy. Now you may have noticed as I was using the Fusion CST Studio, pushing away on those pulleys, I'm getting the full force on my muscles. On the concentric portion of the lift, it's the full muscle activated. But as I'm coming back in with those cables, there's no eccentric load on the muscles. So there's basically no resistance. You can just push out, and it's really hard to push out, but as you come back, it'll just fall straight back. And that's the exact thing that makes the Fusion CST Studio a great combination of strength training and cardio. As you may already know, in traditional muscle building workouts, The concentric and the eccentric force is important to really work that muscle to its fullest extent, but doing that, you're really only gonna be able to get in about 10 or 15 reps doing that style training, and you're gonna get more muscle growth, but you're not gonna get any cardio out of doing a workout where you get concentric and eccentric force. So by the Fusion CST eliminating that eccentric force, it allows you to get more of a strength and cardio session in all at once. So to put this into layman's terms, if you're trying to build huge muscles, it's probably not gonna happen with the Fusion CST. It's just not the right style of training. But if what you're trying to do is get a really good bang for the buck in terms of cardio and strength and the full body workout all at once, the Fusion CST does a really good job at that. So I really like the idea of the Fusion CST in the sense that you can basically work out all the muscles in your whole body on one machine. So now what I'm gonna do is rotate this whole machine around and show you the flywheel assembly back here and how this resistance works. So that was on resistance 5. I'm gonna bump it up to, I'll bump it up to a higher resistance all the way to 20. And then I'll bump the flywheel down to 1 resistance, all the way down. And the resistance changed just pretty quickly. It went through the entire range there, just in just a few seconds. And now I'd imagine the flywheel is probably gonna be spinning a little bit quicker. So with the resistance, I'm gonna move this thing. Pretty easy to move. So here's what the resistance looks like on 1. And as I step further away from it, it makes it more difficult. But yeah, I like the way that flywheel feels as it's rotating back there. It's a really smooth motion and it feels like a natural, good feeling resistance. And let me show you what it's like on maximum resistance of 20 now. And now when I'm close to the machine, it's pretty difficult. But if I step away from the machine, it gets even way more difficult. So, yeah, as you get further away from the machine, those cables are harder and harder to use. So looking here at the product page, which I do have a link to it below this video in the description box, we can see the mirror is 70 inches tall and 15 inches wide. It comes with a 10-inch portable HD tablet, and the cable length is 95 inches on each of those cables. Looking at the footprint of this thing, it's actually about the size of an exercise bike like the NordicTrack S22i or the Peloton. It is a little bit taller, but the actual footprint, wide, it's actually probably smaller. But the thing I wanted to mention was the weight of this product is 378 pounds in the box. So if you're intending on getting one of these things, I would recommend having a friend around to help you build it. Although I was actually able to build it on my own, but it is pretty heavy. And when I actually built this thing, each of these arms, which they come not assembled on here, this arm and that arm, each weigh 100 pounds each. So this is 100 pounds, and that one's also 100 pounds. Which makes perfect sense, obviously, because this is like a workout equipment, and you need to have a really strong base down there so the whole thing won't tip over. And I will say it is really stable when I'm up here pulling from these top ones, basically trying to knock the thing over. It doesn't even budge, the whole thing is super stable no matter what the resistance is on. The whole base has never slid on me. Not even a little bit, even on these slick floors. And there's no indication that it would ever tip over no matter how much you pull on one of these things. And then yeah, you got all the way to the flywheel back there, the mirror, and all of this stuff as well. So it does weigh a fairly heavy amount. As far as the materials go, I find these to be comfortable grips. I like them. They seem to be some form of high-grade plastic. They feel good to hold on to, and they're nice, beefy grips. They're good, I like them. The actual cables are not what you find in a traditional gym. It appears to be some sort of like nylon material. So for this machine, these nylon ropes appear to work perfectly fine and they're good. You get the same exact handles down here for the mid pulley as well as down here on the bottom pulley. And then you get one additional accessory here for strapping onto your legs so you can do, you know, like kickbacks or something like that. Also, I should mention over here on the left side, there is a USB port here so you can plug that in and charge the tablet. Which obviously it does come with a charger to plug it into the wall, but you can unplug it from here and then plug it in up there and then straight into the tablet. So here I pulled up the Upper Body Burnout by Johnny Gale, and as we zoom in here, you can see from the very beginning of the class, you can choose your intensity level. So by default here, we're on level 1, but you can bump it to 3, 4, and all the way up to the max. And that's gonna give you a baseline for the resistance that you're gonna be on for the duration of the class. And as I mentioned, it does have automatic adjusting resistance, so this is just kind of where it's gonna place you on that automatic adjusting resistance at default. Scrolling on down the menu here gives you a little preview of about how many calories you might burn, how long the workout's gonna be, the minimum and maximum resistance, and then you have your fusion meter and your strength. So as we can see here as a preview, this is gonna be about 2/3 focused on strength and 34% of it's gonna be cardiovascular exercise. This one seems to be a pretty highly rated workout with 5 stars and 226 reviews, and I agree, I found this one pretty challenging. So I tabbed on over here to the browse section to kind of give you an idea of what you can expect here. Some of the categories are Up Your Fitness and Weight Loss Series, Elite Functional Training Series, Shape and Burn Series, Total Body and Strength and Conditioning, Lean and Tone, Strength Training Concepts, Total HIIT, Get Lean, Lose It, True Fusion, Power Up, Time Crunch. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Daily burn and then rowing down here at the bottom. So I find it cool that there are actually a lot of different series that you can follow along with the Fusion CST Studio. So here, for example, we'll go ahead and just check out this Lean and Tone series, see all. So pulling up the Lean and Tone series to give you just one example of the workouts here. This is a 3-week series and there are 5 workouts for each of the weeks. So 15 total workouts. And then each of the workouts, it gives you an estimated calories burn and it tells you how long the workout is. So these are all about 30 minutes. So basically, you know, following this Lean and Tone series, you're pretty much just gonna be doing a 30-minute workout once a day for five workouts per week. And then of course, there are tons of other options to go with as you advance and lose weight and get more fit. So here's my final thoughts on the NordicTrack Fusion CST Studio. So I've had this piece of workout equipment in my apartment for about a month now, testing it out and trying it. And for one, you know, I just really like having this thing in here because it's beautiful and I think it just looks nice in my apartment. One of the other things I really like about it is it's just so convenient just to like be hanging out in here and I can just walk up to it and just start like getting like a workout in real quick. And I just really like that. I think it's a really unique and interesting idea about how this machine incorporates a flywheel for the resistance, similar to what we see on a lot of the indoor cycling bikes I review, like the NordicTrack S22i, the Peloton Bike Plus, which I do have reviews on those on my channel. A lot of the strength training equipment that we see out there, they use, you know, weights or some sort of resistance bands or something, but this silent magnetic resistance flywheel is a really unique way to go about applying resistance in your training. So the silent magnetic resistance flywheel on this machine feels really good and smooth on the concentric portion of the lift. You know, when you're pushing away, you get a really good strong force against your muscles. Now, the part that it lacks on is the eccentric, you know, as you're coming back. So you're not gonna get any sort of force on your muscles as you're coming back with those pulleys. But like I mentioned earlier, that's the thing that makes this machine really unique and beneficial. I would not recommend this machine to somebody who's trying to bulk up and build big muscles and get a lot of muscle hypertrophy. You're probably gonna need to lift traditional weights and get that eccentric portion of the lift if you want to build muscles and get that muscle hypertrophy. However, if your goal is fat loss and strength training, I do think the Fusion CST is excellent for that. And unlike exercise bikes, the thing that I really like about the Fusion CST Studio is you're working more muscles than just your legs. You can get a killer leg workout on this thing for sure, but there's so much more you can do with it. The options with this thing are almost endless, seriously. You can do pushing, pulling, overhead press. There's just all kind of stuff you can do on this machine, and you can really just hit basically every muscle in your whole body with one machine, and you're working on the strength component as well as the cardiovascular component. Another thing that I really like about this piece of workout equipment is the automatic adjusting resistance, where you can basically set your intended level of difficulty in the beginning, and that will just give you like a base of like what the whole workout's gonna be. And then you just start doing the workouts and you follow along with the iFit instructors, and you can just focus on your workout and it will automatically adjust your resistance as you're training. And it's just a really convenient and cool thing to have. It kind of just takes that barrier to entry for working out down a little bit lower, just to make it that much easier to step in a workout and, you know, actually follow through with your training program. And then of course, another thing I really like, which I mentioned before, is you don't actually have to do an iFit class if you don't want to. You can just kind of manually adjust the stuff on the side and just kind of pop in, you know, just do like a quick little like 5-minute like full body workout, you know, just before you're like about to walk out the door or something. I think it's really cool and just like a really cool thing to have in my apartment. So to comment on the maximum resistance, you know, it says that it's like 10 pounds to 100 pounds when you're lifting those pulleys. As I mentioned, you do need to kind of step out a little bit further away from the machine to get the higher end of the resistances. Does this thing actually give you 100 pounds of resistance? I'm not really fully sure on that, but I do know that the resistance is pretty darn strong at resistance level 20 as you're getting those cables extended and pulled away from the machine. For my purposes of strength and toning and fat loss and staying lean, this machine is excellent. So currently the NordicTrack Fusion CST is listed at $2,495. By the time you're watching this video, that price may have changed. I do have a link below the video in the description box that'll take you over and show the current pricing and any promotions they have going on. Also, you do get a free trial of iFit when you do buy the Fusion CST. And you do need to have an iFit membership, which is a recurring monthly cost when you sign up for the Fusion CST. And NordicTrack does have a pretty generous warranty on this piece of equipment. They have a 10-year frame warranty, and then 1 year on parts and labor, and 1 year on the tablet as well. So far, I have not had any issues with the Fusion CST so far. It seems like a really robust piece of equipment, and I think it would last a really long time. I do have a link below the video in the description box so you can see the current price, and if you would like to help support this channel at no additional cost to you, if you do buy through that link in the description box, it would help support Tell Happy TV. So that's my final thoughts on the NordicTrack Fusion CST. I think it's a really great piece of workout equipment, and if you're looking for something that involves strength and cardio in one machine, I'd recommend the NordicTrack Fusion CST. Thanks for watching, guys. Click subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in my next video.